There are stories that speak to the heart, stories of friendship, of love, of loyalty so deep it survives even when everything else is gone. This is one of those stories. It begins at an old, broken-down bus stop in a quiet little town. Every morning, before the sun even rises, a dog appears. He walks slowly, carefully, as if every step holds a memory. He doesn't bark, he doesn't beg, he just waits for someone who never comes. They call him Shadow. No one knows where he came from, but everyone knows. He's been there for years. 9 long years, 9 years ago. Everything was different. The world felt brighter. The days warmer. The laughter louder. And in that world lived a boy named Ali. Ali was gentle, quiet, the kind of boy who smiled with his eyes, and who believed that even stray animals deserved love. One rainy afternoon, Ali found a puppy, cold, wet, and shivering behind a bakery. He wrapped it in his school sweater, took it home. His parents weren't happy at first, but Ali begged, pleaded, promised to take care of him, and he did. From that day forward, Ali and the puppy were inseparable. He named him Shadow, because wherever Ali went, Shadow followed, to school, to the park, to the old bus stop where they sat every evening. Watching cars go by, they were more than best friends. They were soulmates. But life doesn't always follow happy endings. One day, Ali didn't come home. There was an accident, a drunk driver, a phone call that shattered. Donnie was gone. He was only 16. His parents couldn't bear the pain. They packed up, moved away, but in their grief, they left something behind. They left Shadow. The next morning, Shadow came to the bus stop. Just like always. He waited and waited, but Ali didn't come. The day passed, then another and another, but Shadow stayed. He returned every single morning, sat in the same spot, watched the same road, waited for the same. Boy, he never gave up because in his heart, Ali was still coming. People in the town began to notice. The flower shop lady left him a bowl of water. A boy from the school gave him leftover lunch. An old man tried to take him home, but Shadow refused to leave, because that bench, that bus stop, that road, that was where Ali always came from. So, Shadow stayed. 1 year passed, then 2. Shadow's fur lost its shine. He began to limp, but still, he came. Children grew up, shops changed owners, the city painted new signs, but Shadow never moved. By year 5, he became a local legend. They called him the loyal ghost of Evergreen Street. Tourists came, shelters came, even journalists came, but Shadow, he didn't care. He didn't want attention. He didn't want a home. He just wanted one thing. Ali, winter, came, and went again. His eyes turned gray, his legs stiff, his energy gone. But every day, without fail, he showed up. Same place, same hope. Then came the 9th year. A cold morning. Snow falling. Most shops were closed, the streets empty. But there, beneath the shelter of that old bench, was Shadow, shivering, weary, but still waiting. And then a car pulled up. A woman stepped out, a long black coat, scarf, holding flowers. She looked around and froze. Her eyes filled with tears. She whispered, "Shadow." The dog stirred. Slowly, carefully. He turned his head. His eyes met hers. He blinked, sniffed the air, and then something changed. His tail moved. Just a little. He stood up, limped forward, and collapsed at her feet. Tail wagging, the woman fell to her knees. "I'm Zainab," she said softly. "Ali's sister. You remember me?" Shadow let out a soft, broken whine, licked her hand. 9 years of waiting, 9 years of pain, 9 years of loyalty. Finally, he had found a piece of the boy he loved, and for the first time in years, he was home again. But this story, isn't over yet, because what happens next will make you believe in miracles. Shadow was home. After 9 long years, 9 winters, 9 lonely birthdays of a boy who would never return. He finally rested his head on a familiar lap, Zainab's lap, Ali's sister. She ran her fingers through his weathered fur, tears spilling silently, as if to apologize for everything. For leaving, for forgetting. For all the years he had waited alone. Shadow didn't blame her. Dogs don't carry hate, they carry love. Even when the world forgets, Zainab whispered. Let's go home, boy. And this time, Shadow didn't resist. That night, for the first time in nearly a decade, Shadow slept on a soft bed. He didn't wake to cold winds or the sound of tires screeching. He didn't flinch from distant thunder. He slept. Peacefully, Zainab stayed awake most of the night, watching him breathe. In that moment, she wasn't just Ali's sister anymore. She was the guardian of his memory, and Shadow was all she had left of him. The next morning, Zainab took Shadow to the vet. The doctor was stunned. His heart's weak, he said gently. His legs are brittle. He's nearly blind in one eye. But the fact that he's alive at all is a miracle. Zainab smiled. He's been waiting for someone to come home. The vet nodded. Now he finally can. Days passed. Shadow began to heal. Not entirely. He would never run again, never chase butterflies or climb stairs, but he wagged his tail more often. He followed Zainab from room to room. He ate warm food and slept beside the heater. But there was something more. One night, as Zainab sorted through old boxes in the attic, she found it. Ali's diary. The pages were worn, the handwriting messy, but the words inside, they brought everything back. Shadow is the best thing that's ever happened to me, if anything happens to me. Please don't let him be alone. Promise me you'll take care of him. Tears blurred the ink. Zainab closed the diary and whispered, I'm so sorry, Ali. I didn't know. But I will now, I promise. Shadow nuzzled her hand, as if he understood. From that day on, Zainab made it her mission not just to care for Shadow, but to tell the world about him, about Ali, about what loyalty really means. She wrote articles, shared pictures, posted his story online, and its spread. Shadow became famous, not as a meme, not as a joke, but as a symbol of what it means to love unconditionally. News outlets came. Documentary crew filmed him. Schools invited Zainab to speak about his journey. Children cried. Adults hugged their own pets tighter. Veterans saluted him. And Shadow. He didn't care for the cameras or the praise. He only cared that Ali's scent still lived in Zainab's hands, that his name was still spoken with love. He had finally been seen again. But time waits for no one, not even for dogs who wait. One morning, Zainab woke up, and Shadow didn't. He was lying peacefully in his blanket, eyes closed, tail still, a soft smile on his old face. He had gone, quietly, just like he had waited. Patiently, Zainab didn't scream. She didn't sob. She just held him and whispered through shaking lips, You waited for him, and we waited for you. Now you're both together again. They buried Shadow next to Ali, beneath the tree where they used to sit, where the boy and the dog once dreamed of tomorrow. The tombstone read, Shadow, he waited with love, left with peace. Months passed. The town remembered. Children left flowers at his grave. Someone painted a mural at the old bus stop, a boy sitting with a dog, watching the road, and above it, in soft golden letters, Some promises never break, Zainab wrote. A book it was called, The Dog Who Waited, and in every page, every sentence, Shadow lived on. Because loyalty like his doesn't die, it becomes legend. So the next time you see a stray sitting by the road, don't just walk past, don't just pity. Sit with him. Talk to him, maybe. Just maybe. He's waiting too. And if you listen closely, you might just hear the soft sound of a tail thumping, of a heart still hoping, of a soul still loving even when no one else does, because dogs like shadow. They don't just guard homes, they guard love, forever, somewhere. A boy and his dog run again, young free, together just like they always dreamed.